Hello, beach friends. Today we're going to be taking a nice leisurely morning stroll on Fort Myers Beach during low tide. Here on Fort Myers Beach, I find low tide increases my chances of finding shells, but it also increases my chances of saying hi to some critters. And we'll say hi to a few on this morning's walk, along with a couple of great seashells and some beautiful beach birds and scenery. So if you're ready to come along with me and do some exploring, let's go to the beach. So here we are, and I'm greeted by one of our ubiquitous shorebirds, one of the herons down here. So they're out and about and fishing. A 9-armed sea star. Now I know these guys can look kind of creepy. Their arms can grow up to 16 inches long. So I know they look like these big, creepy, almost spidery looking things, but I just think that they're beautiful. They are scavengers and predators, so they do eat mollusks, crustaceans, and worms, ew. And they have a very cool water vascular system that provides hydraulic pressure for their many tube feet. So that is how they're able to move around. It's kind of like this big disc and they kind of move around. I will be making a video on my other channel, SWF Beach Life Shorts. So be sure to subscribe to that so you don't miss the whole lowdown on the 9-armed sea star. Oh, I see something moving. We got another critter. All right. We have a little hermit crab in a broken crown conch shell. Okay, that is a long-wristed hermit crab. You can tell because the two pincers, one's a little bit bigger than the other one. So that is a cute little hermit crab, and we'll just put it back and let it finish doing its hermit crab thing. All right, here we have a live banded tulip. Last week when we found the tulips, I put the camera underwater, but this week I figured I would pick it up. And of course the shell is perfect. So that is what a live banded tulip looks like. He or she is kind of coming out a little bit. Now that flat piece, that brown flat piece, that's its operculum. And these actually remind me a lot of the crown conch body. It's mostly black with the white spots. It's kind of coming out instead of going back in. I know its head is all kind of like smushed down. You can't really kind of tell, oops, sorry critter, kind of tell what's going on. So that's a banded tulip, a live banded tulip. Just gonna say hi. Oh, let it finish doing its scavenging. All right, what do we got here? All right, I think it's something alive because I'm picking up sand with it. Yeah, okay, got another critter. Looks like another one of those long-wristed hermit crabs. This guy's is quite a bit bigger. Is it gonna come out and say hi? No, I don't think so. Not quite as feisty and friendly as that first one. So we'll just put it back where we found it. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there is another live banded tulip, probably with a perfectly gorgeous shell. Look, there's another 9-armed sea star. All right, here's a little seraph, but not a keeper, because this one has a little itty bitty hermit crab in there. Yeah, so not a keeper. Always be really careful when you're shelling in the water like this, because you might be taking home some hitchhikers. Oh, now that's what I'd like to see. Kind of exposed beach there. Here we have a prickly cockle. It's a swell little shell. That is the other one, and the inside is actually quite pretty. So that is a prickly cockle. In here we have a calico clam. Not the most pristine I've ever seen, but yet a calico clam. Now here is a yellow prickly cockle. So a lot like the other prickly cockle, I like these better though, because they're yellow, a little bit different, a little bit harder to find actually. And here is a hinged disc Dosenia in terrible shape. Wow. all sorts of stuff going on, but it's hinged, which a lot of times they are very likely to find a hinged Distosenia. And I see just a piece. Yep, it's a whole one. A crown conch. Awesome. All right, so it's got decent color. It's empty. Yay. Not quite as spiky. You know, that's a pretty good shell. I'm going to give that a solid 7. Not too bad. Oh, we got a bunch of stuff here. Let's see. Okay, a lightning whelk. Lovely, lovely little shell. And, okay, a sunray Venus clam that is also hinged. That's in pretty good shape. All right, that's some keepers. Now, what else are we going to find? Kind of like buried here. Now, think this is low tide. Oh, another crown conch. So typically this would be covered with a lot more water. So it's just so much easier to beachcomb when you can kind of really get at those shells. And that's an okay crown conch, a little beat up. Definitely a keeper though. And that is another one of those. And it's just kind of like smudged patterning. Real pretty. Sunray Venus clam. And another prickly cockle. This one is hinged. And it kind of looks like those heart cockles, the giant Atlantic cockles, but that is a prickly cockle. All right. What else am I going to dig up? All right. Some black stuff and a Florida fighting conch. Okay. You know, it's your run-of-the-mill Florida fighting conch. It does have purple on the inside, which at this point I do not think is rare personally. Oh, hi, birds. Look at how pretty the morning was. Oh, it's just beautiful. That looks like an American oyster catcher right there. Whole bunch of shorebirds out. Oh, dear. Okay, that is a lightning whelk. A little worse for wear. Not a keeper for me. We have another... Okay. And there's another Florida fighting conch again. Not great condition. Well, we'll just kind of check it out and leave it where I found it. Yet another. Although I thought I learned my lesson. I wasn't really going to keep these if I find them early. That's another Florida fighting conch again. Probably going to leave that. Yeah, leave that for somebody else. All right. See a couple of things here. Look at that. This gorgeous lightning whelk just sitting there. Oh, really pretty. Very cool lightning whelk. And a giant Atlantic cockle with a barnacle party. Who knew? Party at the giant Atlantic cockle for the barnacles. We'll let them just keep on partying. And look at all those birds. Oh, but I was really interested in the snowy egret bottom right. I was wondering how tolerant he would be, how close he'd kind of let me get. He's kind of checking me out, but he let me watch him. He's going to catch a fish, so check this out. And I think he's doing it, and I'll explain. I want to let you watch it. Look at that, just got a fish. I think the way he was doing it, the sun was behind him, so he could kind of sneak up on the fish. That's a snowy egret getting some breakfast. All right, you know what I see here? I see a project. Right, that is a banded tulip, super green, super stuffy, got stuff all over it. But stick around to the very end of the video. We're going to see just how clean I can get that shell to look. There, aren't they pretty? All sorts of birds. You got your pelicans, your terns, your egret. Gorgeous morning. And the birds are enjoying it too. All right, we got ourselves a southern quahog. Yeah, not that exciting. Just, you know, run-of-the-mill quahog. Lightning whelk. Oh, that one's nice and dark. That's beautiful. I see pink. Yep. A rose petal tellin. Always find those here in Fort Myers Beach. So this is what I'm talking about. There's just a lot more stuff exposed. So low tide just makes it a little bit easier to do the exploring. Lots of fun stuff on the beach here. Oh. Ooh. A sand dollar. Oh, it's in good shape. I'm gonna keep that. I know it's a little chipped on the sides, but that's okay. It's a perfectly keepable sand dollar. Oh, and another little seraph, all right? Can I keep it? Nope. Taken. Well, finders keepers. That little crab got at it first, so he gets to keep the seraph. Oh, another rose petal talon. Complete with a drill hole. All right, I kind of like the shells with the holes drilled in them. I think that's kind of cool. A couple of rose petal talons. All right, lots of green stuff. And at this point, I'm looking more for shapes. Woo. All right, big old shark eye. A little bit green. I think I can salvage that though. And here, again, another shape. So that's another one of those crown conchs. Color's not great. It's got a hole. I'm still going to keep it though. And another moon snail. Ooh. All right. For sure it's empty. Good to keep. And look, it's got the blue. The Paul Newman shark eye. Very pretty. And another one. Oh, it's got a little green on it. Probably will clean up okay. Another one of those Paul Newman shark eyes. And then this is another shark eye. So these are all moon snails. Okay, these are shark eyes. They look real different though, those two. They both are shark eyes, also in the moon snail family. Did you see that? I was looking for shapes. Another crown conch. I think that's going to clean up good. I do. I'm not worried about the green at all. That barnacle should pop right off. We got ourselves another crown conch. And another moon. Okay, this is another moon snail, but this is a colorful moon snail, also known as a gaudy nautica. Doing pretty good on those moon snails today. Okay, we have another critter. Here is a 5-hole keyhole sand dollar. It is alive and well, even though it looks like it probably got broken along the way. And you can see all its little cilia, those little hairs on the bottom. They do help them move, and they help them move food to its mouth, which is in the center of the underside there. So that is a live sand dollar. All right. So I'd mentioned before, at this point, the color, there's a lot of green stuff. So I'm really kind of looking for shapes, things that are pointy, things look like those moon snails. So I'm kind of just really kind of scanning to see if anything is poking out. I don't have my scooper with me. It's still in repair, but that's okay. We're doing pretty okay just like this. Oh, lightning whelk. Pretty. Little green, little chipped. I already got a couple good ones. I'll leave that for somebody else. I see a big old moon snail. Yep. Aw, man. So that is another shark eye. A little chipped. A little too green. Not a keeper. For me, anyway. I don't, however you decide to shell is up to you. That is a little horse conch. I'm also probably not going to keep that. So by all means, please, what I do is not right. It's just one of the ways that you can go shelling. Probably not going to keep that either, even though it look kind of pretty. I'll leave that for somebody else. So since I do go shelling a lot, I'm a little bit pickier. See that? Yet another critter covered with shells. Oh, there's a scallop I've been looking for. That is a short-spined sea urchin covered in shells. I love them. They collect shells like me, so big fan. Ooh, look at that beauty just sitting there. Awesome. It's empty, little green. I'm not worried about the green. I am going to clean that up. I'm going to show you that too at the very end of the video. I'm going to clean up that banded tulip. I'm going to clean up some of these green shells. Looks like I'm going to check out. I saw a piece of a banded tulip. All right. I know it's aperture. Oh, they always are chipped like that. Almost always. It's so hard to find them intact. But that is a banded tulip. Another crown conch. All right, it's got some green hair on there. Cool, nice size though. Not worried about the green. I'm gonna try to clean that up. Awesome. A crowned conch. Woohoo. And I spy a little Florida fighting conch. So that is a juvenile. Empty. Woohoo. That is a keeper. A little Florida fighting conch. Now this one was really different. So it doesn't have those knobs. So you'd consider that like knobless. Interesting pattern, interesting shape. I know it's a little beat up, but it's kind of like a really weird looking shell, so I'm going to keep it. I like the weirdo shells. Oh, another lightning whelk with a little, oh, tiny party. Just a little party of barnacles. And I am not sure if those are viable or not. I do see some of them falling off, but since I'm not sure about the other ones, I'm not going to keep it. I just don't know enough at this point. I will one day be a Florida master naturalist and I'll know about all these things, but if I'm not sure, I leave it. Gorgeous lettered olive. Dark, got its point. Not so lettery, but beautiful, beautiful seashell. Oh, there we have a pear whelk. It doesn't have any color, and I don't think it's albino. I think it just kind of lost its color, but that is a pear whelk. A fine little shell. And so there's some stuff on the beach. I seem to be having, decent luck in the water. Take a peek and see if there's anything going on up here. Let's do a check-in. All right. Feels like it's 77. Nice morning to be on the beach. And I see oh dear. Well, it's got a head of green hair, but this is another crowned conch. Not worried about the green at all. Cool green conch. Oh, another one. Oh, it's cousin. You can see the family resemblance in the green hair. Yeah, that is another crowned conch. Also going to keep that and clean that up. Ooh, that needs no cleaning. Real pretty lightning whelk. Definitely going to hold on to that one. What do I spy? Oh, it was a crowned conch day. I didn't know it was crowned conch day at Fort Myers Beach. All right, you know what? I think that's going to clean up okay. I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to see how that turns out. Oh, and here we have a little angel wing. Now notice the pattern of the angel wing. It is on the entire shell. So all the way from left to right, you have that little bumpy, kind of pointy pattern. So that is an angel wing. So there's a smattering of stuff. Here's another pear whelk. Another little pear whelk. There's some little shells here. Here we have a jingle. What else we got? A little tiny Florida fighting conch. Yep, that little shell will grow up into one of those other big ones. And a giant Atlantic cockle, although it's a juvenile. Not quite giant yet. Still very cool shells, especially when they're big. Treat them like a bowl. And look at this fabulous little shell. This is a dusky cone. It's one of the smallest local species of cone shells down here. Very cool. All right, let's take a break, have some beach time. Okay, look at that monster. Okay, that is another one of those quahogs, and that one is just giant. It's a southern quahog. It was just, I'm not used to seeing shells that big. So I know it's kind of, in my opinion, a little bit on the boring side, but still kind of cool to check out. So, like any good Floridian, I just put that shell on a tree. Now the beaches change constantly because of the winds and the surf, and during the summer the sand kind of tends to go out along with the shells, and in the winter the sand will come back along with the shells. So the beach is constantly changing. And in this area of the beach there's a lot of like clay, It's kind of mucky and soft. It's not sand. It's more like clay, I guess I could say. There's another one of those banded tulips with a broken aperture, of course, but still, it's kind of pretty when you hold it just so. Ooh, speaking of pretty, that is a nice looking Florida fighting conch. A lot of the time I'm just kind of debating, am I going to keep it? Yeah, I'm going to keep that Florida fighting conch. And look at this, just sitting there. An angel wing, just sitting there. Beautiful, beautiful angel wing. Awesome. Gorgeous shell. Just sitting there, waiting for me to come by. All right, so I'm kind of seeing pieces and then the waves come in, but I saw a little something here. See what I mean about that clay? And we have another crown conch. I don't have anything to really kind of scrub the shell with, so I just kind of clean it up as best I can till I can get home. So we have yet another crown conch. Awesome. All right, what else we got? Oh, well, we have a little ecosystem is what we have here. Now, notice that area right about there and check it out. It's going to spit at me like a clam would. Sweet, yep, right there. So that is alive, and that I wasn't quite, I mean, it kind of looks like a slipper. It kind of looks like a jingle. I'm not really sure, but it's not dead. So that means I'm going to leave it here at the beach. Now look at the beach here. You got a whole bunch of seaweed where before it was just kind of clumpy with rocks. So it just keeps changing. So just keep walking. All right, tide is coming in. So we have shelled through super low tide. It's going to come back in. Oh, on the left is an eastern white slipper snail. And then we have one of those rose petal talons. I guess I felt the need to dig them out of the dirt, or rather that mud clay substance. Ooh, pretty banded tulip with a broken aperture. Yep, but that's gorgeous. Coloring on is fantastic. All right. Oh, a lightning whelk. Yep. We have another. Let's see. It's in pretty good condition. That looks like a keeper to me. And so here again, now at this point, I'm walking back down the beach, and I do have to start sharing it in the winter. People come here, snowbirds come here. So in the summer, it's nice and sleepy. Starts getting a little more crowded in the winter, but I don't mind. And another thing I wanted to let you guys know is how hard packed the sand is here on Fort Myers Beach. You can ride a bicycle on it. I happen to have these people go by so they can demonstrate. It's so hard packed, you can ride a bike on it. Very cool. And here we have a spiny jewel box. It's a little bit green. It's a little bit spiny. I'm going to keep that little bit green, little spiny shell. And here we have another pear whelk. Does look like it was damaged at some point. Tell by the different levels of that outer part of the shell. What? All right, and wait. Oh, it's not. Yeah, darn it. It's a little holy. Looks like it came into contact with some sort of boring sponge or something. So we'll leave that. Oh, hi, kitten paw. I haven't picked up one of those in a long time. Oh, and another rose petal talon. All right, couple of the things that are relatively common on the Fort Myers Beach. Oh, just sitting there, sure. Oh, I wonder if somebody else left that, because it's really not in great shape, but I'm going to keep it anyway. Another colorful moon snail. That one's in a lot better shape than the one I found earlier. Real pretty. Oh, a broken banded tulip. All right, I'll just be happy with this colorful moon snail. All right, what do we got here? All right, we got a very beat up alphabet cone. And here we have one of those broad-ribbed carditas and a piece of nacre from the inside of a pen shell. Pretty. What else we got? A piece of a true tulip, not just a piece, of course. A piece of an apple murex. And look, here we have a little tiny Florida fighting conch. I'll keep that. So there's pieces and stuff, definitely goodies here, for sure. Just a matter of what you feel like collecting. And now this is a false angel wing. You will notice that bumpy pattern is really only on the short side, the side on the right there. It's kind of devoid of that pattern on the long side. So those are called false angel wings. There's also an angel wing called a fallen angel wing. I've never found one of those, but I'm on the hunt, so maybe one of these days. All right, another shark eye. Again, member of the moon snail family. It's a little beat up. Probably gonna take it home and decide later if I'm gonna keep it, because I do recycle a lot of the shells I bring home. And here is another jingle with some beach stuff on the back. And what do we got here? Oh, a small spine sea star. Very different from that 9-armed sea star we saw earlier. So his little feet does have suckers on it, unlike the 9-armed creepy spider looking sea star. Isn't that beautiful? So just say hi, put him back. Guys, really? Now, I knew when I picked it up, I could feel it's broken. Yeah, but the color was just gorgeous. So that is perfect for a project, and I'm going to go ahead and keep that crown conch. Another moon snail, right on. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, that's a keeper. It's not one of those Paul Newmans, but gorgeous. No drill holes in it. Yay, shark eye. And another, now this is a colorful moon snail. Nice. Hey, you know, come to think of it, those typically do not have drill holes. They must not be as delicious as the moon snail. So here's another shot of the south end of Fort Myers Beach. I'm heading south at this point. I've walked up to Shell for the tide. Now I'm going back to kind of where I started. Looking to see what I can find. Here is a little coquina. They have the most beautiful colors, but that's it. They only get that big. Little tiny clams. Oh, and here's a nice bivalve. It's a sailor's ear, an elephant ear, or a channeled duck clam, whichever you prefer. And a scallop. All right, that urchin didn't get all the scallops. I found myself one little calico scallop. Another moon snail. Cool, no drill hole. Interesting. Very cool, Gaudy Nautica. And so now you can really tell, look, there is nothing on the beach. So the tide has come in, and all those shells we were kind of looking at earlier, buried, not going to be able to see anything. So it just kind of demonstrates why low tide's a little bit better for shelling. Don't not go because it's not low tide. By all means go, because you never know. And here's another Florida fighting conch. Give it a little rinse. Let's see if I decide. Yeah, a little purples. Yeah, purple on the inside. Let's look at the patterns on here. All right, it's got some hash marks. That's kind of a cool Florida fighting conch. I'm going to keep that. Ooh, and look at that spine on that spiny jewel box. Very, very cool. So that is the last shell we are going to pick up. I like going to the beach when it's nice and quiet. It starts kind of picking up by the time I'm leaving, which is okay by me. It feels like it's 92, and I've walked a little over 2.5 miles, so not too bad. And you know what? Speaking of not too bad, I think I did pretty okay. We got some prickly cockles, some of those Sunray Venus clams, the giant Atlantic clams, the lightning whelks, the shark eyes, and the gaudy nauticas. We got some tulips. We're going to clean that up. Couple calico scallops, one sand dollar, and then a couple assorted other little stuff, some angel wings. I did bring home some of those Florida fighting conchs. And now we're going to do some experimenting. We're going to clean up that tulip as well as a couple of those real green crowned conchs. All right, so here we have that tulip fresh off the beach. It is dry at this point, and it definitely needs some love. So first I went at it with the dental pick. So scraped off as much stuff as I could. And then let's take a look at the crown conchs. So this is all of them fresh off the beach, complete with their green hair and everything. And the first thing I'll do is just kind of scrub the hair off, just kind of scrub it, get all that long hairy algae off of it. And then I separated them. So those are the ones I'm going to dip in acid. These are the ones I'm going to leave soak in bleach and then dip in acid. So these have all been soaked in bleach. Not too bad, right? Look at that tulip too. and then I dipped them, and this is what they came out with. So those 4 were the super green ones, but let's talk about the tulip first. Frankly, after all that work, I mean, it looks okay, but it is still quite beat up. I mean, it looks great. That's what it looked like when I found it. And then at this point, you probably could, you know, use it in a project or something, but ultimately it wasn't in great condition to start with. These guys, on the other hand, all they had was a little bit of green on them. So after some bleach soak and acid, they look great. So it was totally worth it and totally fun. Hope you learned a little something. Thank you for coming along with me. Thank you, Patreons, for supporting me. I can't really express enough. I know I say it every week, but I really do appreciate you and everybody who watches and all your comments. Next week, we're doing some more low tide shelling. I'm not going to say where yet. We'll get to that next week. So I hope you enjoy your week, and I'll see you again next Sunday.